Let's see here. Looks like we're live. Good morning. Um, what do we got here? Monday, August 30th. What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining in. Took me a while. I was up today. I had to restart my computer, get some other stuff going, try to make sure, for some reason my screen was all jacked up. I had to reorganize some stuff, but I'm in. Just finished logging into all my, different stuff here. So it looks like Ago's here already. Good morning. Michael. Who else is in here? Let's see. Michael says this week could really do some damage. Got low work in here. What's up? KLF. Peter Meekus. What's going on? Pete. Skip. TN making it rains in here early. Good morning from Smoky Mountains, Tennessee. What's going on? Christina Ridge. Good morning. Tim. We got Crypto Cello. Big Nate. Shrimply. Dennis D. 7-leaf Clover. I think I got caught up now. See everybody in here. Michael said the wine glass is back. Yeah, so I know I brought it up, and then someone asked on one of my previous the video I made on Friday too. They're like, "Where's the wine glass at?" So we had I didn't even realize it was gone, but we had a Zoom meeting for my son's school, and me and my wife were sitting right here, doing the Zoom meeting, and so I think she hit it or something. I don't know. It was sitting over here to the side, but I put it back. I forgot to put it back after you mentioned it, Michael, but then I put it back after someone mentioned it in my other video. 6H Spindrift, what's up? Kamal, what's going on? Co-creator's up here early. What's up, co-creator? What's going on? So anyways, I got the wine glass back. Just looking around, some big plays. I mean, I know you guys know I'm in Clove. I'm in GameStop. And I also bought some calls for AMC that expire next week, just because I was looking at these three being the big squeezes upcoming, kind of playing off that theory. So I added on a little bit to some of these other positions. But SPRT and BBIG look to be running right now, big time. I know some of you guys have been calling it out. Some of you guys are in there. SPRT hit 60 on Friday, before coming down and closing in the high 20 range. And it's back up to 38 right now. So that's one that I'm going to be keeping my eye on. If it opens up, maybe lowers down a little bit and gives me a decent entry point, I might try to jump in here for a quick little day trade and see if we can get up here and test this 59 again. That's something I'm just looking at. I'm not going to throw a ton of money in because, I already have my positions established. But BBIG is the other one. On Friday morning in pre-market, trading at 3. Went as high as 580, closed the day at 536, hit almost 1050 this morning in pre-market. Right now it's at 868. Don't know a lot about these stocks. Definitely a lot of risk involved. So with BBIG, because it's so close to this $10 mark, I probably won't get in unless it comes down in gap fills and gets down to a little bit of a lower level. I don't like to chase. So if it comes down and maybe touches somewhere around 6 or 6 or 7, probably closer to 6, I might look to enter in somewhere around here. That seems to be a decent support level, at least in this somewhere right in between here. Looks like it found support here this morning at 768. And that's where it kind of topped out on Fridays after hours. So that's one that I might be looking to jump in on a little day trade too. But I know some of you guys have been calling this out for a while, and they're in. Happy for you. Hope you're taking profits. Let's see here. Hope it's not a sin, but I dipped into BBIG. See, there you go. That's what. Honestly, I mean, well, I'm always pretty vocal about it too. Like, Clove is my biggest position now. But I always keep some extra cash on the side just to get in and play some of these other plays. And then when I hit big on one, if I make a little cash or whatever, now I can increase my position in my longer term plays or my plays that I'm more confident in. Blah blah. What's up? Says let's go TW. Day late, dollar short. Good morning, coach. Coach from South Louisiana, new subscriber, followed a while back with THB and now. Love y'all's work and knowledge. Thank you. Appreciate the support. Hey, and I hope you guys are staying safe out there too. I know you guys got that big hurricane coming in. So definitely been thinking about the whole Gulf Coast down there, but from what I've been seeing, I think it's hitting Louisiana pretty hard. So I just hope you're staying safe and taking all the precaution necessary and all that good stuff. Holiday option, what's up? Good morning. Mike in DC, happy Monday. Summer's over, time to bank. Present Minds, good morning. I think all these other stocks are going to be a distraction, and then Clove will boom while we're messing in these others. That being said, I dipped into a couple other rumors from last week. Yeah, I mean, it seems like they always all pop at the same time. Not all these same stocks, but like all these squeeze plays seem to be. They always start running around the same time. So there's definitely money to be made, but there's also bags to be held too. So that's why you just want to be careful. It's always hard to time the top, but you always got to have some sort of strategy. Always either set a stop loss or run a mental stop loss, and it's better to take a small loss than to, at least for me, it's always been better to take a small loss on something than end up holding all the way back down, right? I mean, especially if you don't know anything about the stock. Like, I couldn't tell you what BBIG does or anything about them. So I have no idea how high it's going to go. It could be that it's already at the top. I don't know. That's why I said I'll try to find an entry point. If I get one, cool. If it starts falling from there, I'm going to cut my losses. And it's kind of how you got to be, just emotionless when you're trading, especially when you're trading in stocks you don't know about. Sometimes it's a little bit different. Like with Clove, I would say I feel like I've done enough research on this stock that, if we drop down to 7 today, I'm not cutting my losses. I'm holding because I know it's worth way more than 7, so it's a little bit different. But some of these other plays I don't know enough about, or I already know that they're not valued anywhere near where they're at right now. A lot easier to cut my losses in that sense. Biker Dan, what's up? Good morning. Hey, Wes, what's up? Josh Stewart, VN. Let's see here. I was trying to log into my TRADYTICS this morning and I'm having trouble. No TRADYTICS today. We'll see how that goes. I'll try it in a little bit. Wanted to check out the Fintel data real quick on Clove. Scotty, what's up? Good morning. Thanks for starting off the Friday. Nice, kicking off Friday morning with us. And then, I ended up joining you guys. Anyone who didn't catch Tarheel's show, we had a half day at work on Friday. And so when I got home, Tarheel and Scotty were still going. I was driving home listening to them. And I ended up coming in and taking a shot on Friday afternoon with them. Our game on Friday got canceled. Anyone who's not aware, California right now, we got like all these wildfires going right now, and the smoke is bad. I mean, it's unhealthy. I was outside a little bit on Saturday. We went to a car show and did some other stuff, and it was the smoke was bad. Like I went back in and I felt like I was having trouble breathing after being outside for about 8 hours on Saturday. So Friday they canceled our game. I think it pretty much happened all across Northern California. So hopefully it clears up a little bit today and we can get our game in this Friday. Jason, what's up? Good morning. Co-creator says, "Are you gonna get fun emojis for members?" Yeah, I am. Actually, just on a totally different tip. I got some family stuff I got to take care of today, and I'm still signing off the stream. Somewhere right after the bell, because I got to get my kids going to school. But I am taking the day off work because I have some stuff I got to take care of. So after I take care of that, if I got some time, one of the things I want to do is get those emojis squared away. And then I got some schoolwork I got to finish up that I didn't get done yesterday, and so I got a ton of stuff I got to do today. So, but one of the things I want to do is get those emojis, and then I've also been trying to work on a merchandise store too, because I know with the membership to the channel, I said I was going to give a discount on the merchandise store, so now I need to get that store up. But on top of that, yeah, I will I'm going to add some of the emojis and some of that other stuff. If anyone's got any ideas for any custom emojis for members, throw them in the chat. Anything you think I should add in there that you guys would like to see, because I am going to work on that a little bit today. If you're unfamiliar, we do have a membership thing that I started just for anyone who wants to support the channel. It's $5 a month. As of right now, what I put on there as membership perks was, obviously you get the badge, the custom emojis, which I'm working on, discount on the merchandise store once I get it going. And then finally, one thing that I am going to try to do is live stream, like a members live. The live stream will be open to anybody, but only members can participate in the chat, and that's going to be probably like twice a month at the beginning, and it's not gonna be about Clove specifically, but more on like the Chalk Talk series, where if anyone wants to come in and ask about anything they want to know about, and I'll kind of be a time to just sit there and just answer questions about the markets or about trading strategies, anything. And I want to start doing that just to kind of give back to, you guys that did join. And I had a ton of people join on Friday. That was pretty awesome. It really was. Big Nate says, "I'm following this week. CLVS, MDVL, WIMI, and CMMB. Co-creator says, "Who else is a member in here?" Hit subscribe, like, and join to be a full fun in the know member of this awesome channel. Right on, co-creator. I appreciate the support, man. Jason says, "I live in Minnesota and we're getting a lot of smoke from the wildfires in Canada as well." See, I didn't even know there was wildfires going on in Canada right now. But like over here, it's been like 3 years in a row that we've been getting these wildfires. I mean, and it's I remember that first year I was really upset, as a football coach. They canceled our game, and it's like, well, what is this? We used to play and smoke. We used to do that. You get that kind of attitude, like, this is ridiculous. Why they can't? Man, it gets bad. I never even knew what air quality was until about 3 years ago. And now, like, you could look up air quality on the weather app on your phone, and I think normal air quality is in between like 30 and 60 or something like that. The other night here, it was Friday night, it was like above 250. I think anything above, and I could be way off base, but anything above like 160 is unhealthy. And we're supposed to be playing up in Sacramento this Friday, and their air quality on Friday night was 500. So I know we're not. I think anything above 160, they won't allow you to play. But it gets pretty bad. between the California fires and Colorado fires, the Front Range in Colorado Springs and Denver is like breathing inside a grill. Oh, so you guys know what it's like too. Scotty says, about to head underground here in NYC. Heading to the Bronx. Had to stop in and say good morning to Coach and the Clover family. What's up, Scotty? Thanks you for dropping by. BTFD, Zero Sleep Friday and Saturday. Ooh, Mom stepped in and saved the day last night, so I'm back. Sorry for missing last night. Oh, yeah. We were waiting on the, I forgot about that. So last night there was a Discord chat, and I ended up jumping in for a little bit, just because I was sitting here listening while I was working on my schoolwork, and then I heard someone say my name, like Coach B, and just kind of in the background while I was typing. I said, you know what? Let me turn this up, and then so I jumped in and kind of had a little fun on there for a little bit, but I signed off. I think an hour in. I don't know how long they ended up going. Day late, dollar short. Thanks for the sentiment. If Clove spikes from the futures roll over into the options chain, any idea how high it would run? So if the option chain, if we got to that point to where the option chain took over, my expectation has been that we will at least, kind of hit. I'm trying to look for. It looks like there's not too many options that go past 17 now. So my expectation originally, and I'm not saying that we won't, was to go to 43 because we had so many options going up to 43. But now, because we've been trading low for so long, the weeklies, like if you go through each of these weeklies, they only go to 17. And they're absolutely loaded up to get us to that point. But it's not until, I think I have it right here, November. I mean, this is decent, but I'm looking at, everything past 17. Not a lot there right now. December starts to get a little bit heavier. You got some big marks at 30, 25. But 20 used to be a huge mark. A lot of that expired in recent in recent weeks. January got a little bit more sitting in there. So, I mean, across the entire chain, there might be enough in here to kind of give us that lift up to 43. But it also might be one of those things where it gets built on as we go, right? Like if all of a sudden we close today at 11, I'm just going to throw out a hypothetical situation, then that means that the chain across the board, all chains would now get extended out to like probably 22, 23, 24 for tomorrow. And then if all of a sudden you start seeing more of that get loaded up, and then we make another push up to like maybe 15 or 16 by Tuesday, and then all of a sudden that gets loaded up even more, because I just think we need a little bit more firepower in there to blow it out. But once we do, that'll be taking us as high as 43, and I'm talking only options related, right? Once we get above there, anybody else's guess is as good as mine. Like, I mean, if a short squeeze was to kick off from there in this kind of cycle and this time around, who knows? I mean, we saw GameStop with a third of the float squeeze from 40 to 480. If we just went from 40, and did a third of that, we'd be looking at somewhere in the high hundreds. And I say a third of that because we have 3 times the float, so it's harder to move a stock the bigger the float is. So somewhere up there. But again, this is all just speculation. I have no clue. If it's just an options chain type thing, and let's say we start to kind of die out and lose steam around 45, 50, then I'd be looking to kind of, get out before the reverse gamma squeeze kicks in, if that's what actually propelled us there. So there's so much that goes into it. But like we've talked about it on here so many times. We just got to make sure we get an exit plan. You have some sort of exit plan. You have some sort of profit taking plan, so that if we do get a spike, you get to profit off it, and then re-enter your position long term. I mean, I'm always going to be in Clove, and I'll definitely be in be in for the long haul when we start trading at triple digits on a daily basis. That's what I'm looking forward to. If we were to get to triple digits tomorrow, I don't think that's sustainable to stay there, for the long haul. We're going to end up kind of coming back down, settling out somewhere, whether it be above or below fundamentals, finding a base and start trading like a normal stock, on its way back up to long-term triple digits, which is where I think the stock is headed. ASTR, not a dip I'd buy. I could be wrong, but is ASTR, I think, is that the one? It is like they had the failed launch, I think. They just did try to do a launch and it failed or something along those lines. Is Clove going to be green? Ghost says it was. I have my life savings on calls on this. Josh, that's I hope you're joking about the life savings, man. To me, if you're gonna play around with calls, man, you want to do a very, very small. And I know you've been on the channel for a while, so I have a feeling you're joking about that. But you want to put a small fraction of what you're doing in those calls, because nobody knows if it's going to be green today, green tomorrow, anything like that. Anything can happen. You always want to, manage your risk. But I would expect it to be green today. I would expect it to be green this week. That's what I'm expecting. Speaking of which, just before we kind of keep going with the chat and everything, so short. First, I wanted to look up institutional. What's going on with Fintel? There we go. Institutional owners. I just had the wrong page up. All right, so just take a glance real quick if we see any sort of changes or anything from Friday. And doesn't look like it. This looks, pretty much what we were seeing last week. ETFs rebalancing. Got some different funds in here. One of them looks like a huge change in ownership. Over here, doesn't really tell us what the change in ownership is. It says 0. So I don't get that, because usually if they're reporting a new position, there'll be some sort of change. DSPC, the DSPAC ETF, 10,000 shares. And again, looks like it's just a filing, nothing new there. So not a lot going on last week with institutional buying. We did see a lot of ETFs adding on earlier in the week with I think iShares added on 245,000. There was the S&P Healthcare Services, about 250,000. But, in previous weeks, we saw just tens of, 20, 30 institutions buying in week after week. And that wasn't happening in those given weeks, but they're reporting it. Okay, D says Astra had the failed launch. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Blah blah says truth. It's okay to profit take, Clove long term, but take care of yourself. Josh says I live life dangerously. All right, Josh. Well, shit. I hope you make some money then, man. I really do. I mean, because that means we all will. But yeah, I'm pulling for you, because let's get those calls. The one thing I'll say about those calls, and I don't know what your expiration date is, and obviously this isn't financial advice or anything else, but if you're dealing in mostly calls, take your profits. If we see a nice spike today and tomorrow, and your calls are expiring this Friday, take your profits. Yeah, we might go higher than that or whatever, but calls expire and they expire worthless. So, you know, there's always going to be other plays. There's always going to be other opportunities. The worst thing you could do is try to hold them into expiration. I feel like more often than not, that's when you get burnt. Dan says just increased my Clove position by over 10%. Right on. Josh says, to be honest, the penny stocks exploded like SPRT and BBIG. Then a couple weeks later, GME and AMC exploded in January. Yeah, I didn't see the correlation there, but I mean, shit, I could have just not been watching the right stocks. Like, maybe I wasn't watching. I didn't notice the pennies taking off in January. But I was like kind of already honed in on GameStop at the time in like early January, and some of the other ones. I know I've brought this up multiple times, but like AMC wasn't even a squeeze play at the time; it was a reopening play. So I was fortunate enough to where I had some kind of like long calls on AMC. Same thing with BlackBerry and Nokia for that matter, just because those were like the four hot tickers in Wall Street bets, and like Nokia wasn't moving at all. It was like trading at $5. It went up to $5.10, but it was a long term play. That was supposed to be, hey, this stock has the potential to maybe be trading at $8 or $9 by the end of the year. And so I bought some leaps on it. But yeah, there was quite a bit, and so I wasn't focused on like the pennies or anything else, or I had like those were my four positions going at the time. I just got lucky. Once GameStop hit, it was like those other three started running like crazy, and I didn't have any emotional attachment to them. I cashed out somewhere near the top on AMC, BlackBerry, and Nokia. That was I think I got Nokia out at like $8. I don't think it's hit there since. AMC's starting to pop right now. Let me see here. I want to pull up the short interest on, since we were looking at Fintel. See what kind of information we can get today. Looks like borrow fee. It's been going up for a while. We've been, a little bit higher. One thing I noticed was short volume went down last week. We had been seeing previous weeks in the 40s. There has been days where we saw almost 50%, but 40s and high 30s. And now last week it was all high 20s, low 30s. So short volume decreasing a little bit. FTDs should be coming out again. We should be getting that information any day now for the next round of FTDs. That'll take us from early August through mid-August. I think that's the big thing I wanted to check out there. Yeah, and then Ortex. We're looking at 121,000 borrowed shares. Shares on loan right now is only at 56 million. We've seen this as high as 63. So there's 7 million shares still out there. This was 63, I think, on Thursday. So yeah, there's still 7 million shares out there right now. Utilization dropped a little bit. That was at 99. Cost to borrow, though, seems to be that it's been right in this range. I mean, it's still a lot higher than when it was at 1%, but nowhere near what some of these other stocks get up to when it's like becomes expensive. We've seen this as high as 100, 200, 300 back in June. So still a little bit of ways to go, but all that stuff can change in a matter of minutes too. It's not like it takes days. Oh, Josh Stewart, new member. What's up, Josh? Thank you. Appreciate it. I see see co-creator getting everybody on the membership thing in the channel, man. I appreciate it. I really do. It means a lot. Josh says expires this Friday. Yeah, man. So if they expire this Friday, for sure, look for an exit strategy Monday, Tuesday, because as we get closer to Wednesday, I for sure would exit by Wednesday. But you mean we've already seen what happens on Thursdays and Fridays. Mike says, kind of funny since I was banned from Trader TV because that Canadian a-hole shorts Clove every morning. I can't join any other subs at least 30 days from what I read. Oh, really? I didn't know that. So if you get banned from yeah, I used to go on Trader TV. I really like their setup and just like, the tickers on the bottom and everything else. And like, they have a couple where they have like the guy that's kind of like announcer. It kind of has like a sports center feel to it. Um, Speaking of which, I've been trying to rearrange my channel and get like some different designs and stuff in here, and maybe bring in some live elements like that. So I've been messing around with some different software. It's just a matter of finding time. But I used to enjoy watching Trader TV, but then at the same time, some of that type of stuff would piss me off too. It's like, um, without getting into too much specifics, I think I even came on here one day and was talking crap about them, but not by name. But since you brought it up, uh, that wasn't my intent. But I was just talking about like this channel that pissed me off because of some stuff they were saying, and I'm like, I'm not watching that no more. Um, let's see. BB is creeping up again. Can you do a Ortex on it? Yeah, let me check it out. Now my understanding, and I could be totally wrong, is that BlackBerry doesn't have high short interest at all. But I could be way off on that, just because I haven't been paying attention to BlackBerry much. Let's see here. So we're looking at BlackBerry. Exchange reported short interest 36. Oh, short interest of free float 6%. Yeah, percent of float on loan 5%. But yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really strike me as a squeeze play per se. But it does tend to run with the memes, and I don't think it was a squeeze play, from what I remember. So, um, that's let me see if I can turn this on because I know Ghost is coming in here shortly. There we go. I just want to get my interview mode on here because so Ghost is, I know he's been coming on Wednesdays recently, but he's gonna come on this morning because me and him are gonna talk about this project that me and him are working on. And we're actually going to kick it off today. So I'm pretty excited about that too. Let's see. Big Daddy Roro, what's up? Good morning. By the way, Big Daddy Roro, I think it was you, Tarheel Blue. I'm almost positive he sent me some graphics and stuff. Because I was talking about how I wanted to get the merch store up, and I saw that it was all awesome. I'm gonna try to get that. I'm gonna try to get that thing going probably today. Like I said, I without getting into too many specifics, I had some stuff going on in my family right now. I'm gonna try to help out do some stuff this afternoon to help out a little bit after I get off the stream, and then jump back on and try to get some of this other stuff taken care of. So I had to take a day off work today. So I'm gonna try to get to that today and try to get some of those graphics put up and get the merch store launched and all that. L Trades, what's up? Good morning. All right, it looks like Ghost is coming in right now. Let me see here. See if I can get this on. All right. Ghost is in the green room. Just give me a thumbs up when you're ready to come on, bro, and I'll push it over. Put you up here live. Let's see here. Pat M says good morning, cloves and clovettes. Yeah, that's what I was almost positive. I was like, I know he said it was from Big Daddy Roro, and I was waiting for you to come in so I could thank you. But yeah, man, I like that stuff. I'm gonna try to play around with it. Play around with it today and get that thing running. Octaviano, what's up? Nice to see you back in here. G Surin, what's going on? Octaviano says listening while I drive to work. I always forget about that, and I got to keep that in mind too. So like, right now Clove's trading at 860. Which is pretty flat considering where we closed at 860 last week. GameStop at 205. AMC looks like it's starting to make a little bit of a run, almost at $42. So I always forget to kind of like go around and announce some of the stocks just because some of you guys are driving. And sometimes when I'm driving, that's what I'm always thinking. Like, man, I wish he would just tell us what we're actually trading at. But hey, so I'm gonna get Ghost in here right now. Let's see here. There we go. Ghost, what's up? Can you hear us?
I can hear y'all fine. What's up, Coach?
What's going
You
on? I'm
feeling?
gonna switch this over to my little guest screen that I made where it's that way we can get this bigger. There we go.
Hey,
So this
looking
is
good.
Clove right here. I got GameStop. Let me put that on a 5 minute. I'm gonna keep SPRT. I know you. I think you said you were. What are you in right now in terms of these? Anything?
Yeah, so SPRT, I tweeted early Friday. I jumped in and I actually jumped in a couple days prior, but I think I posted it twice. But I actually shaved everything except for my profits. So I got 25% of my profits rolling out on SPRT. I'm not too, I think there'll be some extreme volatility today, to be honest with you. And if there's some pullback, I'll probably get a little bit of some. BBIG actually though is one of the ones that I got a phone call from one of my boys who's like real big into NFTs, and he's been taking me down this wormhole. I almost bought some kind of ape NFT rocket shooter. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I need to do my research with these NFTs, but he's like the best ROI he's had on any investment in that short of a time span. And I was just like, wait, what? So he actually hit me up like, yo, BBIG is a huge play, no pun intended, for these NFTs. And I was like, all right. So I looked into it, didn't do nothing. This was like Wednesday. Thursday, he's like, did you get it? I'm like, nah, man, like, let me look a little bit more into it. Friday morning, he's like, dude, get in now, like now. So I got into BBIG. I actually momentum traded it. And then I was a bit concerned with if people were going to pull out profits by
Yeah.
Friday, which a lot of times happens. So I actually sold off every single one I had, thinking there'd be some pullback. And of all ones I shaved all on, BBIG kept running after hours, like another 80%. So I'm looking to see in the early morning on both of those. I might make a little momentum play on both of them, to be honest with you. Did you get in either one of those?
Nah, man. I was so busy last week. And I put most of my like after that, kind of that whole theory, like that AMC, GameStop, Clove, all the highly shorted stocks were gonna kind of run again. The extra powder I did do, I went in and grabbed some GameStop and AMC calls for October.
Calls.
I went with October 1st calls. I think that way I can kind of get priced in if we see a mid September run up. And shit, the GameStop ones were killing it. I mean, and they're still up huge. AMC not so much, but yeah, I was hoping to like be able to ride one of those up, cash out, take some money, go throw it in another play, ride it up because everything's popping. But seems like the one to do it with would have been like SPRT, BBIG. Take that money and then now be rolling it into something else. You know what I mean?
100%.
But it that's why I gave myself some time and went with that October 1st date just to, you know what I mean, just to get some extra.
Yeah. So I've been doing something. First off, I got a lot of ghosts in this. I just want to make sure I show people love because y'all show me love, man. Moto, Milan, Sir Lucky Charms, Mike and DC, Ago, Big Nate, my boy Michael Duzensky, KLF, Big Daddy Roro. I mean, man, the co-creator, like always. Dan, you're not a golfer. Y'all always show me so much love, man. And I know I probably missed everybody. Ago with the boo. I love that. It's my favorite one, by the way. I got on a call on Discord and they was just screaming boo the whole time I got on, man. That shit just felt so good. Man, I used to do music, y'all. And I used to be on stages. I rocked an Israeli concert one time. I opened up for Damian Marley and Nas. And I swear to God on my life, the love I get in these chats is more exhilarating than any time I jumped on stage, bro. It's crazy what it does to me, man. I see and I just feel so much love, man. I love this fucking community, man. Like, oh, I can't wait for Clove to just pop and make so many of you guys that took that chance, that stuck to your guns, knew what you believed in, had conviction, and just reap the benefits. And it's so difficult when you're on a huge play and you see things like SPRT and BBIG. And I know what it's like because for me, when I was especially new, I would be like, oh my God, why did I pick this one over this one? And why did I'm telling you right now, know what you hold. Don't try to chase because it's the worst thing you could do is try and chase thinking, oh, Clove's been so steady. I could trim a little bit and I'll be able to get back. Man, when you chase, sometimes you go for that BBIG, that SPRT on the way up, get stuck at an all-time high, end up holding a bag, and then that's when Clove takes off. So just be careful, man. Don't make any irrational decisions. Have fun with what you're doing and know what you hold. I mean, it's just that simple. We've done a lot of research. You guys done a lot of research, and I think you guys know where Clove headed. I predicted something today. What happened with Clove? Did I foresee SPRT and BBIG popping the off? No, I did not. With that being said, there's a chance that a lot of these people that were going to put money into Clove early on are putting money in that SPRT and that BBIG. I mean, it's all over the place right now. So don't think if we don't start off hot that it's a sign for things to come and that's the time to take out. And, you know, again, I'm not trying to give you advice and tell you how to hold your money, but just be very careful with chasing, man. I've done it before. I've learned from it. I've eliminated FOMO from my equations because it's more of an emotional, type of trade for me. So just be very careful. Know what you hold. Take your time on any decision. There's no rush. There will be plenty of stocks that are going to run in the future. And just, yeah, man, just have fun today. Just have fun today, man.
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree with you more, man. I think you hit it spot on. Like, I don't know if you were listening a little while ago, but I was kind of saying something similar to that, but not, I think you went a little bit more in depth in it. And really, like, I've said it in the past too, like with chasing, like I try to never like really chase and FOMO into stuff. You know why? There's always going to be another play. There's always going to be another play, man. It might not seem like it at the time, but you just got to tell yourself there's going to be another one. If you miss out on this one, there'll be another one, 2 weeks from now. There'll be another one 2 months from now. There's always going to be that opportunity. Even when it comes to
100%.
like GME running from 40 to 480, at 10 times in a week, we've seen that in other stocks. Shit, AMC did it recently. I think for the most part, what was SPRT trading at not too long ago?
Single digits.
Yeah, so it running up from what, $3 to $60 is 20 times. So in relationship, same thing. You're getting up. So those opportunities are always going to be in the market somewhere, but when you run into them and try to chase, and I'm not saying it's you can't go trying to jump in on some, but if I was to jump in on BBIG, for instance, today, just blindly, you better be, I'm not holding this shit back down to $3. You know what I mean? Like you jump in right now, you better have a stop loss set, whether it be, a true stop loss or a mental stop loss. And that way you're not gonna, get killed on the way back down. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. See, it's different when you're in a stock like Clove and you've done so, like, there's no BBIG on Reddit. You don't have any access to some of the information like you have on Clove. So if you don't know exactly what that particular ticker even does or what kind of acquisitions that just occurred recently, and you don't know enough about it, yeah, you better have stop losses by all means. I agree with that, man, because it's one thing to hold the bag in a company that you really genuinely believe in and just know that in due time it should come back around, or it will. Just if it's years or months, it will. And I think then being in a stock like $3 to 60 that could possibly go back down to 3. This Nate killed me on this comment, man. I started laughing when you were talking. I apologize. I hope you weren't thinking I was laughing at you, bro. But Big Nate's like, damn it, Ghost is talking specifically to me right now. And I
Yep.
just
No, I
seen
put
this,
that one
man.
up on the screen too because I
Did
saw
you?
it.
That
But
shit had
yeah,
me dying.
I yeah, no, I agree with you, man, and that's what I was thinking about Clove too. It's like with Clove, I mean, I have my own mental price targets, right? 20, $30 is where it should be trading at, maybe even closer to 50 now. But long term, we're talking triple digits. So like
Yeah.
shit, if we and I said this a little while ago, if we fell right now from 862 down to 7, no, I'm not stop lossing out of that. I'm adding on because this is an undervalued play. You know what I mean? Like it's a little bit different, but
Such a big difference.
yeah, there's a big
Mm-hmm.
difference there, and that's where and I'm not saying you can like I don't know a thing about BBIG. I just learned that they're into the NFTs from you just talking right now, but it's like if you don't know the stock that you're into, and I'm not saying you got to do research on NDD on any sort of day trade you jump into. I mean, I've traded more stocks that I don't know a damn thing about. Just based off
Well, that's why
technicals,
we trade.
volume, everything else. But you don't want to hold
Yeah,
on to those. You got to get out when it's time.
that's why we trade those and we ain't investing in those. Big difference.
Yep.
The ones you don't know. Um, I wanted to talk about something actually in particular, like DraftKings. And the very first time you let me on your show, I brought up DraftKings. I took a lot of heat, by the way. I didn't tell you this, but I would be on Reddit, and I think I posted some kind of market cap comparison in where DraftKings was versus where Clove was. And at the time, I think DraftKings was in like the 48 range, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 50. If it was 50, they just touched it again. And I was explaining on Reddit, like, yo, man, like if you really look at where the market cap is for DraftKings and you compare the fundamentals, like we're talking DraftKings had 1.25 billion projected, Clove had 1.4 to 1.6 billion projected. Last year DraftKings spent over $1 billion. And I'm like, man, we spent 100 and some odd million in the last quarter, like versus DraftKings billion. Like there's a huge difference here. And I took a lot of heat. People were like, "Oh, you must have bought DraftKings at 63, LOL." And I'm like, "Man, I've been in on DraftKings since 18, the day it switched over to DraftKings the ticker. Since $18, I've averaged up to I think is 33, and up until Clove came in the boat, DraftKings was my largest position. Tesla and DraftKings were my two largest positions. So I still believed in DraftKings. So I wanted to talk about something. Um, L Train. L Train hit me up and was asking me what did I mean about this ATH type of calls I do. And I think it's important for people to know I'm not giving you this as advice, but I'm telling you, honest to God, on everything I love. I have a strategy that I do for calls. And the way I do these calls is very simple. Like, it's very simple, like idiot proof. I look at a stock that's getting beat up, hammered, okay? And I look at what their all-time high was, ATH. That's why I call it an ATH call. I look at their all-time high. If I see 33% pullback or more, okay, I catch a 33% pullback from the all-time high, and I'll give you an example. DraftKings was at 75 at one point.
Yeah, I'm gonna
It
pull it
dropped.
up right now because DraftKings is a play I'm in too. I know like even when you came on that time,
You had just did it. Yeah, I
I
remember
had just bought into DraftKings somewhere around here, and I think, like you said, we were trading somewhere in like this 48, 49 level, and that was before this big takeoff. So, but this
I
is what he's
remember.
talking about up here is these all time highs up here of 74.38.
I
So
remember I said it, and your eyes were like, I just got into that. I was like,
yeah,
let's go. I remember that. I felt good, man, because it's cool, man. This is how euphoric I feel with this whole movement we got with the NFL, man. When I first came on your show, first off, you reached out to me, Coach. I swear to you, when I tell you, I appreciate you because I definitely did not have any of this in my set of cards, man. And I'm grinding so much that I wasn't able to take advantage of like the fun part of life lately. I feel like, and getting on with you, bro. Man, I know it sounds cheesy, bro, but we have so much in common that it makes it so euphoric and fun and organic. And it's just like, it's just cool, man. I'm happy that the people saw what I felt and wanted us to do a show together because this just all materialized because of what they wanted. Your fans spoke to you, you know? So I appreciate that you guys accepted me as family because Coach put in a lot of work getting this shit on point. I've been trying to get this on point myself, you guys, just so you know. This is not easy to do. Live streaming is not easy to do. Man, let me tell you. I'm still trying to figure out a few things. So thank you for accepting me in the community. Thank you for accepting me to be a part of Coach's fam. We've learned a lot from each other, but man, this man has a lot of knowledge that I'm absorbing as well, man, on a different level of, things that I've never even looked at before. So, thank you, Coach. I appreciate you for taking me in as fan, bro. And
it's
I
all
look forward
good,
to
man.
the battle.
All good. So I got the DraftKings pulled up. You were
Okay, you
talking
ready?
about your all time high. I know.
So
You explained it to me the other day, but go ahead.
it's simple for me. So I look at DraftKings, right? And mind you, like I said, I already have a ton of action on DraftKings. Third biggest holding, maybe second now. Now that Clove is my number one, my baby. But all-time high calls, right? So it broke 75, I believe is its all-time high, 75 and some change, or 70, yes, just over 75 for sure. And so when I see a 33% pullback, and again, it has to be for no reason. No reasons include what? A Hindenburg hit.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
DraftKings had the same thing happen to them from the same company, Hindenburg. So when I saw that, I instantly go, okay, 33% dip from its all-time highs up 75 down to under 50. That's when I do a call. And I usually do a call for at least 3 earnings away. If earnings is next week, I'm waiting for that call. I want it to be after an earnings. I don't want it to be prior to earnings. I want it after earnings. Like there's usually a slope after earnings on most stocks. When
Yeah.
that happens, I buy my calls maybe 2 days after earnings, 3 days after earnings. And then I usually have 3 calls, 3 earnings dates in between. So 9 months out minimum.
Okay.
Now it's a long time frame.
Yeah.
I'm also picking a strike of their all-time high because I believe if the company dropped 33% for no reason, there's a chance it's going to hit its all-time high. You get a really low premium when you're saying the stock's going to jump 33%, really 50% once it drops, right? Because if it drops 33% from 75 to 50,
Yep.
in order to get back up to 75, you're talking about a 50% increase. The math is weird, right? It's different on the way down than up.
Yeah.
So I hold those calls until it makes sense. 40% gains. As soon as I touch 40% gains, I cluck, or $1,000, depending on how many calls. 40% or $1,000, depending on how many calls I purchase for that specific momentum.
And so you're saying like just to kind of to make this to break it down. So like somewhere back here in May, you would have went out and bought February calls.
I'll tell you exactly what date it was, but yeah, I think so.
Because that would have been like, somewhere out here, May, go forward 9 months would have put you somewhere around February, 75s, right in there. Right now they're going for 420. I'm sure at the time I could probably guess
I
if
can tell you.
because I know I bought the video that I made about a month and like in July was around here was to go February 65s because I wasn't going on your 9 month strategy, but for me, what I was looking at was I wanted to price in um, basically the November earnings and the February earnings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because to me, football season, you're going to see November earnings, I think, is going to give it a big boost because that's where you're going to see the first round of football, money coming in. February earnings, now we're getting to that point to where I don't know if I'm actually going to hold my calls into February earnings because sometimes you see that big run up going up to it and then it's like to sell the news. You know what I mean? And then everything. So depending on where it's at, real quick, let me throw this up here. KLF, new member of the channel. Right on. Thank you.
Go.
Greatly appreciated. Welcome to the team. Let's go. Oh, and Lisa's in the house. Lisa Buffett, what's up?
Lisa.
But nah, man.
I
And then
could
what
tell you.
Oh, go ahead.
No. Go, please, please, please.
No. I was just gonna say the other part of that strategy that I don't know. I'm just gonna get Clove back up here while we're talking. But the other part of that strategy, like something that I just did, is I'll actually roll my calls out, and I got a couple people that hit me up over the weekend. So that might be my next video that I make for that Chalk Talk thing, is just to explain that mindset. But like, so my first video that I did on DraftKings was, I went with February $65 strikes, right? And I mean, this was a month and a half ago. At the time, I bought those for $2 a piece. And so even though we
You
haven't
gotta
even,
help me. You gotta help me because I can't see that for some reason. I'm on MacBook and it's super small. What are we looking at here? This is the call
yeah.
strike.
So this is DraftKings option chain, February 18th. And the $65 strike was going for about $2 a piece when I made the video back in July, and that's the ones that I bought. Well, right now they're trading at $7.20. So my plan is, I mean, that's over a 300% profit, right? So my plan is, let's just say you own, and this is always kind of a strategy that I'll use. February is still what, 172 days away, a lot of time there. Let's say you own 10 calls there. I'm going to go in and sell those 10 calls, get out of that position, right? But then go rebuy 10 calls at the $85 strike for February. So all I'm essentially doing is, I'm up 300%. I'm going to put 200% of that in my pocket. That's profit now. Done. Now I'm going to, go in and rebuy those 10 calls, but roll out to the 85 strike and basically reinvest my initial investment. So
Yeah.
now I still got the same amount of calls in the game. I'm still in there, but I was able to put some money in my pocket. Why am I going out to the 85 strike? Because to me, we got all this movement early. I want to capitalize on that profit. And, that kind my initial price target for DraftKings changed now. Like, we were talking all times highs, but now you've got the NFT marketplace in the mix. You've got, Arizona, with gambling. You got Oregon just announced that they're gonna do their online betting through DraftKings. There's potential Disney a Disney ESPN partnership, as ESPN's
They're
trying to get into the gambling
they're
space. Like,
already yeah, man, they're I know everything with DraftKings almost to know back in the day, coach. So they had when the NBA was considering playing basketball at ESPN, I already knew Disney had holdings from DraftKings. So I knew there was something brewing there. That's what made me load up the truck. It was right before they announced that ESPN, owned by Disney, is going to host the NBA. And so they already have a 10-year agreement with ESPN, NFL Network. I mean, you could go on a tangent, UFC, lacrosse, like everything. So, yeah, man, DraftKings long haul, that's why it's one of my core holdings. I will not shave probably any more of what I've shaved. Man, I bought DraftKings originally back in
I know you said
May May 28th. I see some June 26th. This is 2020. So I had trimmed a little bit, but I bought in at 18. My median right now is 32, and I got a lot of DraftKings. But let me tell you about my calls. I don't when I do calls, coach, I do the same kind of philosophy as shares. So what I mean by that is I don't just buy as many as I'm gonna buy. So on April 12th, for example, I bought just 2 calls and they were 991. That's how expensive they were. And that was right after the Hindenburg, I think, hit him with the hit piece, April 12th. And they had dropped like 5-10% in a day. And I was like, okay, perfect time. They kept dropping. I kept adding calls. So from April 12th to May 12th to April 12th, April 29th, May 7th, May 4th, and May 12th. I've been adding calls little by little as it keeps dipping because it's no difference than a share. You could lower your median. And that's ultimately what I do on my calls too. I actually lower my medians on some of these shares, same strike, same everything. Like I have $75 strike for July of 2022, and I bought this in April.
yeah.
Right? I started in April. So my median is only $6 and some change. I'm not up that much on them. But I think it's still because it's going to start to run, and that's when I'm going to hit my 40% or $1,000, whichever one comes first.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, there's so many different ways to play it, but I think the biggest thing is just learning how options work, and that's something that it takes time. And I've suggested to people on here before, like paper trade, definitely, but also it if you think you're ready for it and you got a little bit of extra cash, go with something cheap, and I'm not saying I'm not saying a weekly, but they're definitely, for me at least, hands-on is the way to learn. So like, you find a stock you like that doesn't have high IV, and maybe buy one options contract that's 6 months out. And now you can kind of, while you're learning and doing everything else, you could watch that contract grow. You could watch it lose money. You could, you know what I mean? And you could watch it gain money. You could see what affects it, and pay attention to it. And that, to me, that was the easiest way to learn. I learned a lot about options in the School of Hard Knocks too, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Having stuff burn up on me. Bought a contract that
I had no idea.
had 30 days on it, and it had 3 days, and just making all kinds of mistakes. But that
You know
was
what? You know what the worst thing I ever did was? I didn't know if it didn't hit your strike, you can't execute. So I'm
uh
like, I'll just execute it. It's no big deal. And I literally waited, and I woke up the next day and I was like, it's gone. Where's my call at? It's gone. It didn't ask me if I wanted to execute. I didn't know what I was doing, where to look at it. It was just gone. And I said to myself, damn, dude, I literally just let my investment disintegrate. Like, that's not investing. That's what really made me go to school on how exactly they work. I thought I'd get notified and it would tell me I could execute or I could purchase at the strike. Nothing. I didn't see any notification on my platform I use. Nothing. It just was gone. You could do paper trading for that.
no, I think he's talking about, for me, how I was saying,
The
just
calls.
buy one. But I know some people
Oh,
are so everybody's different, right? Like some people can get in and paper trade and spend the time and put it into it, and some people don't want to invest the time in paper trading because it's not real money. You know what I mean? So if you're one of
yeah.
those people where you actually have to have something at stake, just buy a cheap call and watch it. Like
It just,
don't go buy a bunch of expensive, in short term and stuff like that, because it's just
you know
unless you
what?
just have unlimited money to burn. Uh,
You know what paper trading is for me? Coach, you and I have played some sports bets before, right? Gone to the
yeah.
casino, the whole 9 yards. Paper trading to me is like those app games where like you're playing slot machines. And it's like I just feel so crunchy. Like I've played No Limit Hold'em for a long time. Like there was a time, um, how old am I? Can I say this on? There was a time I used to go to, you know where Hollywood Park is?
Yeah.
So I used to go to Hollywood Park, Commerce, all these places. underage, fake IDs, and I'd go out there and be like in the mix. And I used to learn this way to play as hard as I can, right? So tell me why my boy, he's 8 days younger than me. No, 8 days older than me. He hits a bad beat jackpot. So he has pocket tens. The flop is ace, ace, ace. The guy's got ace queen, and he hits and you know how it is in no limit hold'em.
Yeah.
Bad beat jackpot, four of a kind beats a full house full of aces, and it was like a $36,000 pot. He was supposed to get 18,000 of it, and he didn't. He wasn't of age, bro. So we had to like shake out and run. And for me, that rush, that thrill of playing poker or whatever it is you're playing, to play no limit hold'em on my phone, it's like you go all in, it doesn't really feel anything. You know, when you
Yeah,
go all
yeah,
in
nah.
real life, you start to sweat, and it's with your own money. You know, you feel some type of way. I can't paper trade. I've never done it. I can't do it.
See, me and you, that's even more. I feel like every time we talk, we find something else that we're more alike about. Like I used to do the same thing, man. Before I was 21, there's a bunch of card rooms around here, and I'd be there every Thursday, Friday, Saturday night
Yeah.
playing hold'em, gambling, just having fun, and uh same type of deal. And then I used to also, when I this was probably what 18, 19, 20 years old, do the online like Bodog.
Oh
I don't even
yeah.
know if that's around anymore, but get into those sit and go tournaments, and I played a ton of hold'em. Um,
After this, after you get off your shit today, hit me up about this. Man, when I tell you, coach, when I tell you, when I tell you, online poker used to be ridiculous for us. I'll tell you off air some cool shit about that, man. Let's say what's up to a couple people, man. I noticed Faith came in here. Good morning, Coach Ghost, saying what's up to the whole fam. Buy the fucking dip. D-Gen's in here. I love seeing him in here this time of the morning. He's always on it, man. What's up, D-Gen? FD's all or nothing. I know there was someone else that came in here and had a question, actually, and I just don't want to miss it. Pablo said he came here for football. We've talked about no limit hold'em. Tell him this isn't NFL yet. This is
yeah,
this is
yeah.
this is still coach's
Oh,
show.
I'm glad you brought that up. So what we're gonna do is because the reason Ghost came on today is just so we could throw it out there. We got a lot of people on here right now, so I think it's a good time to bring it up. But so we're gonna me and Ghost are gonna start a weekly show. Right now, Monday nights. We're gonna start it off. The pilot episode is gonna be this evening. And it's called NFL No Financial Limits, and we're gonna be talking about everything. Not just stocks. Maybe a little sports gambling, maybe some poker playing, maybe anything really. Investment opportunities, just anything we're into. We'll probably have some guests on at some point. But the first one's tonight. So we're gonna start kicking that off. It's gonna be 4 o'clock on the West Coast, 7 p.m. on the East Coast, Monday nights. And once football season gets started, we'll start even making some picks for Monday Night Football. Really, wherever the show takes itself, but it's gonna be a lot
Yeah,
of fun.
absolutely, man. I want to kind of touch base too on the timing of it. So we're gonna try and keep it the first 45 minutes of the segment. We really want to keep it about finances. It's NFL for a reason, no financial limits, but it's also to tie in the whole football season. So the first 45 minutes, we want to talk about anything from digital currency, real estate, stocks, and we're doing it Mondays because we want to kind of see how the Monday plays out. And then in that evening, we're going to tell you some of our moves moving forward for the week that we see some type of plays. Not to mention the second segment, the last 45 minutes or so, at least a half hour. We definitely want to talk about football since this is football season. Some of our fantasy moves, maybe some of confidence pools that we're in, and kind of just go over some of the things like what the spreads are and what we feel is a good parlay. Even I know it's fun for us, but some of y'all that want to play sports and get into that realm of it too, it's no financial limits. I mean, you can make money doing anything, having a good time at that. So, Stay tuned for the pilot tonight. It's gonna be fun, man. I promise you that much. It will be fun.
Yeah. No, I'm really looking forward to it, and I think
Yeah.
you know, tonight at least, fantasy football will be a good one because I know a lot of drafts have taken place. I haven't drafted yet, so I
I just
have
drafted yesterday.
my league. We've been doing my league for about 20. I think this is the 21st year. Me and a bunch
Wow.
of buddies from high school, but
Wow.
we've always drafted on Labor Day. So
That's
that
cool.
evening, so Monday evening, and sometimes people come over early. We'll have some drinks, barbecue, whatever. But now it's even bigger thing. Like my wife and a lot of her friends started their own fantasy football league like 3 years ago, and so they come over here earlier in the day. They have a draft early in the day. Some
Man.
of them might stay and hang out. Sometimes they leave, but then my league will kind of start rolling in a little bit later in the afternoon. Then we have our draft. And so, yeah, it's always Labor Day. Now, then there's other leagues that I'm in. I think my family does a draft. It's called Coast to Coast actually, and because
Coast to coast.
because my in-laws, they have family in Connecticut. They got family all over the place. So there's people all over the place. That are in this league, and so that one I think we draft on Thursday, but I haven't done one yet. I feel like everybody I know has already done one, been in a draft. um
We do the live one also. Yesterday is our live one, and man, I got hot yesterday, Coach. I got to tell you a story, man. I got hot, and I'll make it quick because the market's
yeah, it looks
about to
like we're
open in
about to
two
open in a
seconds.
couple minutes here.
So I'll make it quick. Man, I come out the bathroom, and I'm thinking it's my turn. I'm like, yo, it's my turn, and the host is like, yeah, it's your turn, man. I'm like, all right, it's like the 10th round, man. I'm like Philip Lindsay, like, whew, Houston sleeper. I look at the board. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, bro. It's not your turn." And of course, it's my high school friends too. The only shady one I have in my whole group. I love him to death, but he's always been shisty. He's like, "Oh, what's left on the board? I'm gonna do a running back. What starting running backs are there? Yeah, I'm gonna do Philip Lindsay." Acts like he didn't even hear me, right? And I'm calling it the whole time, like it's my fault. I shouldn't have said nothing, but oh, I made one mistake yesterday, man, and I think Philip Lindsay's a sleeper. Sleeper. I
So
did
my
get his handicap, Mark Ingram. His handicap. I mean
my
handcuff.
yeah, my neighbor, uh good friend of mine, been for years since elementary school. But we were together at a family party on Saturday night, and he shows up, and there's the bell. He goes over. He's telling me his team. He had just got back from a draft, and he's like, reading off his list, and he's like, he got Gus Edwards, and I'm like, bro, did you hear? And he's like, nah, what happened? I'm like,
J.K. Dobbins.
J.K. Dobbins got hurt today. Gus Edwards is going to be
Bell
is a
cow.
good pickup now, right? And so we go look it up. They're like, you got carted off the field. Then yesterday they announced Dobbins out for the season.
Out for the year.
Yeah, so um, let's see
Gus, I
here.
got hot. Someone got Gus before me too, man. I didn't like my draft at all this year. I didn't. So Clove's doing its morning little drop. I love it. I'm thinking about actually adding a little bit of something.
Yeah, it looks like Clove is starting off. I mean, down 5 cents so far. Nothing major. GME starting off up 1%. SPRT, obviously, the big gap up. It's up 40% right now. Um, I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of a pullback just to see some sort of gap fill. I'm not saying it's going to come all the way down to 26, but that wouldn't shock me, or it wouldn't shock me if this thing just explodes and goes straight to 60 right now. Uh, let's see here.
It's by BBIG, man. I said it early in the show. I'm rolling with BBIG versus SPRT only because I think BBIG has a lot of fundamentals in it as well. They acquired some $5 billion companies, so that it's not unrealistic to think that with the amount of 104 million shares I think they have, their price could technically be $20-$30, no problem. I'm not
Now
saying
this
it's
is
gonna
this
get
is
there.
all time highs for BBIG though, right? Like right now it's
Correct.
trading at 961, or has it been
Yeah, I
higher than
believe
that?
so. No, I
Yeah.
believe this is its all-time high, but you know what? Don't quote me on that.
Let me see. Yeah, it looks like right now. Shit.
Yeah.
Before that, the all time high was Friday at 524. And
I just added to, not added to, I got back in, I should say. So I'm gonna roll with that one. A little bit of a swing momentum, little.
yeah, I got no position in either yet. I was gonna wait for some sort of
Just broke
pullback to
10.
jump in, but I feel like both of these have the potential to, especially we were looking at over the weekend on that group text. You guys were sending the cost to borrow on these stocks on SPRT and some of these other ones is unreal right now.
It really is.
Let's see here. Target short sellers in the house. What's up?
TSS. It's a good guy. I like Michael right there. Okay, here goes a little bit of pullback on BBIG, so I'm gonna add a little something too.
Oh yeah, shit. It just went from $10
10 to 9
down to
real fast.
$8.80. I mean that's something that's got some potential to move when you start seeing that's a lot how GameStop looked back in January when we were having this big volatility coming
So
out of
volatile.
nowhere. Fluffer says CMMB finally looking like it might do something.
Which one did she say?
CMMB. Oh, look at that. Now I really feel special. I got a celebrity in the house that just became a member of my channel. Uh, Tarheel Blue,
Hey,
right on, bro. Thank you. I appreciate
hey.
it. And then for anybody who just joining or whatever, or maybe hasn't been in here, so I did open up the membership thing. I think early last week, and it's $5. Basically, you get the little badge. There is custom emojis coming. I'm gonna try to get some of those put in today that you can use in the chat and everything else. Um, Also, discount on the merchandise store that I promise I'm gonna get up this week for sure. And then finally, I think the big thing that or at least what I see as being a big thing is the Chalk Talk. So I'm gonna start doing one Chalk Talk stream every couple weeks, at least two a month. And during those streams, it's gonna be all educational, and only members will be able to participate in the chat. Anybody will be able to watch, but members will be the ones that get to ask the questions and all that kind of stuff. So that I think is going to be kind of the biggest perk throughout the whole thing. Oh, sorry, Tar Heel. Now I really feel special. Really big
Pablo
here.
himself.
Big celebrity. Pablo Escobar. Uh, thank you, Pablo.
Man,
Welcome to the team. Appreciate it.
mad love. Mad love.
Ooh, Faith says MMAT is ripping right now. Let me check that out.
Oh,
I don't have
oh,
enough. I don't have enough windows up here.
how did we not talk about MMAT today?
MMAT is up 31% right now. So a lot of stuff popping right now.
How much is it up right now?
MMAT up 31%.
Wow.
Yeah, trading at
Oh, it's Clove is
543.
coming. Clove is
SPRT up
coming.
45%. And then BBIG, I think, is the big gainer so far, but that's all
It's
gap up
pre-market.
right there. It's up
Yeah.
59. But shit, just a couple seconds ago it was at 81. So I had said earlier if it touched between $8 and $7, somewhere in there I might look to jump in.
Had to. I DCA on swing trades too, to be honest. I usually start with like 20, 30, 50, 60, and I just keep kind of adding as it falls because it's so hard to time. So rather than timing it too much, I just try and get in my, in the best possible position. I know you could go from the TA route and like really like, but when it's running this high, to be honest, technicals are too hit or miss anyway, to me at least. I can't get a read on it when it's like It's just volatile.
Looks like Clove is down right now about 1%. Nothing major, right now. We're in that kind of, I think max pain this week is 850. So if we can kind of stay above there, or but I still think we're going to see some movement today. I really do. This is
I
our
do
little
too.
morning dip, and then we'll get ripping. Some of these other ones started popping last week, and Matt, looks like today, but SPRT, BBIG, those started popping late last week. And at some point they're going to be on the way down, and I think we'll see Clove somewhere in here soon start coming up on the way up. I mean,
I
I
think,
really think they're all going to start running here.
yeah, I think right now, and this is the first thing I brought up when I got on. I think right now there's a lot of people that have entry points of maybe 850, maybe even 9 for Clove, and they came in for a squeeze. They came in for a squeeze. So the fact that it's not squeezing just yet in their eyes, they're not here for the long haul like some of us. So I can see a little bit of paper handing occurring to try and chase these ghosts out here on other platforms. So on other tickers. So I think it's totally normal for there to be a little bit of a fall off this morning. But I ultimately do think that today will actually pop on the long haul, because I think once everything kind of balances out and the weekend energy of SPRT and BBIG and MMAT kind of start to figure out where it's going, I think those same people will be the same one to come right back into Clove. So I
Yeah,
think it's normal to see this little bit of a morning vibe like Clove has always.
yeah. No, I'm with you. I agree 100%. Just looking right now. What's even GameStop? So it seems like we're trending more with the GameStop kind of today, at least. In AMC, I mean, it seems like, but then again, those had 30% rips last week, and we didn't. You know what I mean? We had the 10%, but we were still ended up, up on the week. We were up almost 10% on the week. So,
A little bit
Dennis
over.
says Coach B, Clove will probably rip after you sign off. Yeah, that's the way it happens. You guys know it. Um,
SPRT is just hit its all-time high. So it's pretty decent movement on SPRT too. I remember I got 25% left of my original swing trade in that. So that's why I chose BBIG as well. I want to let SPRT kind of run its course and see what it does.
yeah,
I think BBIG is about to start popping though. This is what happens when we get these crazy momentum swing trade volatility plays throughout. And when it starts happening on 4, 5, 6, 7 different tickers, you can't expect anything that's normal or traditional to occur at this point. It's definitely moving.
no, I'm with you on that. Right now. I'm gonna try to go.
TMB squad, typical morning bullshit, says co-creator.
That's the one right
Always.
there. Um, Sorry, I gotta put this order in real quick.
I'm seeing Amy Max Clove is a joke. I'll be honest, I don't know if I've seen that person's name before, but I wish you well. I mean, you got to do research if you think Clove is a joke, man. To be quite honest with you,
Yeah,
I
you
feel
get
bad
the
for people that don't look too deep into things. I feel bad, genuinely.
sorry, keep talking, bro. I'm trying to get my
I'm reading this. I'm reading this comment. Had a dream. My fiance was a short seller last night. She has no idea what that is, but this morning I felt like she needed a lecture on how she will never be a short seller. Stars 147. That's funny shit right there. TMB gear and t-shirts coming soon. Co-creator. Not a bad look.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely. We're about to once I get the merchandise store up, it's gonna start off with TMB, typical morning bullshit. I think co-creator and Ego kicked that off, but that's gonna be the theme. They wanted me to rename the channel. Uh,
That's
typical morning
funny.
bullshit, but
That's funny. BBIG getting its second push. Typical pullback in the AM. Loved it too. Um, I think it's just profit taking too, to be quite honest with you, on these momentum trades. You know,
Yep.
you see a little bit of a drop and you're like, all right, I made a lot on this one, and you get a lot of pullbacks to buy back in. The low volume short attack is absolutely correct. DGen's bringing up, buy the fucking dip is bringing up that this is low volume. And again, I think there's distractions right now. You know, when they used to try to say Clove was a distraction for AMC and GME, nah, man. The distractions are companies like what we're seeing here at SPRT and BBIG. Those are real distractions that take away from, you know, what the movement is. But listen, as long as you have a plan and a goal, you're going to be all right with Clove. It don't matter how long it takes. It's definitely happening sooner than people think. I think this is the week that we take off. I did say on Tarheels that I think today would be a nice pop. I'm sticking to my guns with that. I still think it's going to be a nice pop no matter how it starts off. Joseph the electrician, yes, train. Train has left the station. You read that DD of mine. That means yes. I talked about if it's hitting the launch pad and taking off as a rocket, or if the train's leaving the station. And I think it's the train leaving the station now, which ultimately will rocket, just so y'all are aware.
I just while you were talking, sorry it took me so long. I was trying to,
No,
so
you
I
good.
actually just bought in on this dip right here. I
Which one?
figured below
BBIG
850,
or
we're gonna get back above 850 here pretty quickly. That's my thought, at least. So I was
BBIG?
over here clicking around trying to get my orders placed and stuff while we were trading down here. But I just added a little bit more. Looks like Dan did as well.
Yep.
And I'm not gonna lie, so I went in and grabbed a little bit of SPRT, some calls. FDs for sure, top of the option chain. I went and grabbed some $85 calls because I figured it's the cheapest one out there. If I can grab a couple, you know, and just see if it pops. And you know, it hit 60 last week. If it runs up and hits 60 at some point today, I'm cutting it. You know, like I don't. You know, one thing
Which
with
one?
calls, like
SPRT?
even though I bought the $85 call, I'm not saying SPRT is going to get to $85, but if it runs up and gets to 55 today, shit, that call is going to be worth a ton, and I'll just be right out. You know what I mean? Just a quick
Yeah.
little dump.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. SPRT, I kept some of the ones from last week, so I kind of just let them ride. But the call game, man, I'm telling you, if you play a call on these type of volatility, the risk, if you do it right, is worth the reward, in my opinion, too, coach, because you're putting out so much less than if you're buying shares at $30, $40, that you can get a lot more upside on that from going the call route. What were your calls right now for the 75 or 85, you said?
85. So the 85 strike, I bought it at what did I get in at?
And what'd you go, like next week out? How far out?
Well, the SPRT and BBIG only have September 17th. They're just rolling with monthlies right now, which make them even more
Attractive.
attractive and explosive. So if you remember, like Clove on the first run up, we only had June
17.
28th or June whatever the month was, but it was monthlies. And
Yep.
so, you know, even though we're in early June, that means all that money was consolidated and concentrated into that monthly
1 month.
call. And then you know, what do? They release weeklies, they extend the chain, and then it spreads the money out, and it makes it harder for these gamma squeezes to kick off. But yeah, so I went September 17th, $85 call. I mean, that's the epitome of a FD, right? Highest on the chain, earliest expiration, just to be a part of it a little bit. And
Yep.
I think I got in at 440, and right now it's only worth 380. So down a little bit right now. But you see SPRT dipping a little bit. But really, I bought them with the thoughts of this is going to go up and test that $60, and if it does, I'm probably going to
You're
dump
winning.
at 60. You know what I mean?
Yep. Absolutely. No plan to execute, just a plan to ride up.
Let's see here.
I'm looking at a DGen. If we do a dip slash rip to green, all the low volume shorts from today are hosed. Yeah, they're going to be in some serious shit when we flip. Not if, when. Put it out there, DGen. When.
When it happens.
No ifs.
Um
This guy Josh Teachers, come on AMC and GME, take us with you. No, we're standalone out here. Clove don't need any of those two. We got this.
Just trying to catch up.
Cocaine.
Josh says, "Come on, AMC and GME, take us with you." What are we looking at? I took those tickers off because they weren't moving as much. Looks like a lot of stuff is coming down though. At least stuff I'm looking at. BB chart looks exactly like Clove's. GameStop had a nice big green candle, went from 203 up to 210. AMC's at 4226, but saw a nice big green candle right around the same time GameStop did. We didn't get that candle with Clove, but I don't know if I know you're in DraftKings. If you look at DraftKings chart, it looks pretty similar to Clove. Like a lot of the other stocks I'm looking at right now are 4 big red candles right now.
DraftKings kind of became into the retail space meme crowd ever since Hindenburg too. So there was a lot of people like, oh yeah, you want to come at DraftKings, and shorts hit them pretty hard, and there was a little bit of a battle there too. So not for nothing, but DraftKings kind of has a little bit of a squeeze play within it as well now, because of the shorts kind of attacking it since Hindenburg kind of went in. I guess there's the offshore accounts that, when they did their reverse merger, there was SB Tech and DraftKings and Diamond Eagle Acquisition as like this 3-way combination. And apparently SB Tech has a lot of overseas technology or software that they used overseas for a lot of these gambling accounts, so to speak. And so they're saying they're like mafia and they're stealing and bullies, and it's just shady things going on. DraftKings isn't concerned.
Yeah, nah, DraftKings came out I think the next day and said that, basically it was all bullshit. There was nothing to it. And
there's just no affiliation. They don't have any affiliation at the time when they're suggested to be doing all of this. Like, they're like, look, dude, if we believe we're doing everything legal, if there's something not legal about it, let us know. You know more than we do at this point on that aspect. But SB Tech is not necessarily, DraftKings through that merger. A lot of their investors or insiders on SB Tech sold off the moment they were eligible for it, which was like, I want to say maybe July of last year, I think it was. They were eligible, and there was a big tank on DraftKings in like one day. And you know how it is. It's like, oh, sellers are selling off, or insiders are selling off, and everyone was panicking. But it was like DraftKings, Jason, the CEO, came out and he's like, just so you know, DraftKings hasn't sold a single share. That's from SB Tech, not us. So there's definitely some shit there. I think that they'll definitely get hit with a little fine or some kind of, a little slap on the wrist for it. But it's nothing that's going to be detrimental or phase DraftKings in the least bit, dude. In the least bit. But I can see something happening with that field. It's like, it's a little bit of a... I think BBIG is going to start hitting right now.
Yeah, I just pulled up. I took MMAT off and put GameStop back up because it looks like it's trending back upwards too.
Clove is looking so sexy right now. I'm adding more. I swear on my life. I can't do it. It's just like, that's too pretty for me.
Hey, I just wanted to say this real quick. So, Faith, I saw you joined a second ago. I just didn't want to interrupt Ghost, but thank you so much. Appreciate it. Welcome to the team. And let's see here. Who else? Thomas says, I know it's just crazy. 9 to 10:30 a.m. is painful. Yeah, it's this early morning dip. We're down a little bit more than I would have expected at 3% down. But
no way did I expect this.
Yeah, but I would expect some sort of rally back. It looks like, once we kind of find that base and find that support, and
it's the weirdest feeling.
We're in that oversold territory. I mean, I just bought in over here. Grabbed a little bit more, bought the dip.
I was just about to say, it's the weirdest feeling when you buy a dip on stocks. Normally you're like, you feel a little funny, like, okay. On Clove, I just laughed just now. I hit the submit and I just laughed like, this is cookies. It's crazy how much this is about to be a monster, and how ridiculously oversold it is, and how much shorts are coming in nasty on it. It's just insane. That's the dip today, man. I don't think it's going much lower than that. I grabbed some.
No, I agree. I
Can't see
absolutely
it.
agree. What's going on? I got too many stocks I'm watching
Me
right
too.
now. Now that we added in these other ones that we're kind of looking
So,
at, and I just, it looks like AMC starting to pop too. It's up 4%.
so I wanted to bring up something with Clove, about this bi-weekly, and this is when we talked about it, obviously a few times on your show, with the fails to deliver and them trying to kind of cover their you know what's and make the reports kind of appear to be less likely for a squeeze. This is the last 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, because the reports end at the end of the month and in the halfway point. So I'm definitely expecting, based upon trends since May, um, if they don't cover as much as they do today, and we actually see a little bit of a red day, Monday or Tuesday, it's got to be, or they're willing to let this shit run at this point. Because once those reports come out, and there's going to be an increase in shit that they've been trying to keep us from seeing, I think that's trouble. Because I think that's when a lot of outside investors will start to add the fuck in. So if they don't actually start to reduce some of the way these things are looking on paper, fails to deliver, and shares shorted itself, interest, SI, the whole 9 yards, I really think that we can see a volcano erupt. Because ever since May, they've been trying to make sure that these bi-weekly reports that we get look like they're on the downtrend. The rinse and repeat, but always ending on the downtrend. I just, if they don't do that Monday or Tuesday, this is the last 2 days of the month, and those reports come out actually showing a lot of shit, it's going to be a problem. There's going to be a lot of people in
Hey,
it
I
to win it.
not to cut you up. So I just realized my kids are getting ready to leave for school. If you want to keep rolling, I'll just make the screen
Yeah,
big and
go
I'll
ahead.
go run and say what's up to them, and you can just keep it going, and I'll come jump back on. Um,
Perfect.
yeah. All right. Let me
Yeah,
see if I can
perfect.
figure
What
that
what
out
time
real
you
quick.
what time you coming? How long until you get back?
10 minutes, maybe
Oh
five
yeah,
minutes,
that's
as
fine.
long as
I'm
that's
probably
cool.
leaving around 7:30 ish, at the latest 7:20. So that's perfect.
Yeah. Let me. I got to figure out how to take myself off though. Let's
You,
see here.
you can hit the hide button for your screen at least, and the mute button maybe. It's got like an eyeball next to it.
Yep.
You can
I'm
hit
gonna
the
do
camera and
this.
the.
I'm gonna make you solo. Nope, not like that. Like that.
Oof,
There we
big
go.
screen, man. On a big screen.
All right. You all good?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All
Do your thing,
right.
man.
I'm gonna be right back.
Absolutely, do your thing. What's up, everybody? Hey, I don't know if y'all understand how fun we about to have on Monday nights, man. It's about to be so fun. We got some things in our. We can't even talk about it yet, but we got some really cool things that come with this. I'm just gonna leave it at that. We got some real cool things coming. Let's fucking go. I see you. Watch as soon as coach steps away, Clove will start to pop. Michael Duzensky. Mike, that's usually what happens, bro. So I'm curious to see if it works as well. I picked up a little bit of Clove again, guys. When I see this shit under 850, it's just unbelievable to me. So I'm excited for this. I know it's very frustrating for some of you guys. I saw some of the comments of like, why isn't Clove doing it? And why? Look, it's difficult to time. It's difficult. That's why it's about time in, not timing. If you hold Clove for a long period of time, it's a no-brainer. A lot of people don't know this, but the medical sector outpaces the S&P 500 year in and year out. The S&P 500 outpaced by medical stocks, by that entire sector, year in and year out. I mean, it's incredible to see what's going on. What's up, co-creator? Let's fucking go. Who says shit about puts? Josh Tetras. Shit about puts on what? I'd love to know where you shit about puts on. Ross Lowe, Monday nights. When do we plan on starting? Yeah, so we definitely are going to start Monday nights. So just so you guys are aware, there's a holiday, Labor Day next week. So we're not airing a show. Tonight, we're doing a pilot. So tonight, we're going to kind of do an introduction and kind of iron out some of the kinks in our armor to figure out exactly what things we want to add and what segments and the timing of everything. So tonight is the pilot. We can't go next week because it's a Labor Day holiday. So we might do Tuesday of next week, that following Tuesday, to kind of do a preseason, which would be the first week, obviously, before the NFL kicks off. And then after that, yeah, it's going to be Monday nights, 4 o'clock Pacific Standard. We're going to run until Monday night kicks off, 5:15. That's simple. It's going to be fun, though, man. It's going to be fun. We got some special guests lined up already. I won't say nothing else, but some cool things in our cards. Puts on Clove this AM. Use gains to buy more shares. Haha. Hey, man, a lot of people have done that. I'm not risking any puts on Clove. To me, that's playing with fire. You could do it. I'm not saying it's stupid. You would have made a lot of money putting puts on Clove on the way down. So I'm not saying it's dumb, but I had the analogy. I posted it on my Twitter too. I actually came up with it when I was speaking to Coach last time. It's shorts are like Mentos, and these hedge funds are just dropping Mentos in a Coca-Cola. And you might be able to drop one or two in there without it going crazy, but eventually it's going to pop. And the last thing I want is puts when that happens. Knowing me, I'll be like, oh, let's join putting puts in, and now I'll make some money on the way down and get free shares, and then that shit'll pop. So good luck if that's what you do. I don't see anything wrong with it. Just I would never put puts on a possible squeeze play. It's too risky. Yeah, I feel you. Is it IF Bell or is it LF Bell 70? Because I feel you. I know you're long on it. I'm not suggesting you're not. I'm just saying I just want to make sure I'm clear. I don't feel comfortable putting puts on a stock like Clove, AMC, GME. I don't feel comfortable. Oh, perfect. Blah blah Undo's getting the lawnmower out, man. Thank God, man. My man. What's up? You back?
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure that they were all, squared away and ready to leave,
Yeah.
say goodbye to them, all that kind of stuff.
So we
Did I
definitely
miss
started
anything?
popping
Oh, it
back
looks
up a
like
little bit.
maybe we're starting to reverse here.
You left. They weren't playing with this.
Oh, is that what happened? Oh, maybe I do got to sign off.
You left for a
Uh,
split second and it was wraps.
dude, that seems to be how it
The
works.
trend. So BBIG is doing a nice little consolidation. I mean, considering circumstances, it's very, very steady of a chart right now. You can easily make a case that this is
Getting ready to kind of take off.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's the vibe I'm getting right now. I'm about to look at a couple of charts right now just to double check something.
Let's see here. So we got shit. I came back. A lot of stuff looks. I mean, my GameStop's up right now. My AMC's up.
Hey, I have a question. You
Yes.
notice how calls in the morning are always like, I remember when I first got into calls, I had like, fuck, what could I think of which one it was? Man, I can't remember the company. It was a while ago, but when I first got into calls, the stock itself was up like 5% or 10% pre-market on some kind of merger news or something. And my call was like 3,000% up. Like it just looked ridiculous on paper. And I'm like, what the? But you look at the last sell, and bid and ask was just obviously played with based upon circumstances. Do you notice that in the morning sometimes the calls is extremely exaggerated?
Yeah. So I think a lot of that is IV. Plus, we set the market, right? So like, let's just say a stock gaps up, and I'm holding calls.
Putting the bid higher.
My call should be going at for $5, but I'm like, you know what? I'll sell this for $7. So I throw it in there, and sometimes they catch people slipping, right? So like now I set mine for $7. It's really only worth $5. and then you go in and do a market buy and say, I want to come in and buy 50 calls. Well, you eat through that ask, and now you end up buying mine out from me at 7, and all of a sudden now they're trading at 7. You know what I mean? Like, because that's
Yeah,
what
I
people were
noticed
willing to
that.
pay for them. So you know,
I noticed it's always the bid is like skewed.
yeah,
And I know I wonder if people like at the end of the day or maybe even pre-market start putting sell orders. Gap up or not, I notice it's always kind of weird, but gapped up it's usually a lot more insane for sure. So I wonder if that's what they're doing, huh?
yeah. And I think everyone's saying the short sellers are scared of coach. As soon as I came back, we started going red again. I killed the momentum, man. Um, let's see here.
They're like he's leaving. He's about to do some major moves on Clove. Back out as soon as you leave. That's hilarious, man. That's funny as
BBIG starting to lose it too. Shit, it's down here in the 790 right now. Looks like everything's kind of coming down, but the spy's ripping. So we're just all these short plays are kind of inversing the spy. It looks like, although
mm-hmm.
AMC almost hitting 44 bucks. GameStop just hit a high of 216.
Clove is the sleeping giant they cannot afford to wake up.
Yeah, no, it'll get there.
It
It
is. No,
will. We'll be there. I still think we're gonna end today green. I absolutely do. I mean, this is just that early morning, typical morning bullshit.
hey, they
Coach Bear's
halted.
like, get your ass to work.
They halted BBIG on the way down.
Just now? Is that what's going on?
Yep.
Let me see. I'm just
This
gonna pull out.
this could get very interesting on this way down. This is why I played small with it too.
Yeah. Well, sometimes I'll just go in on
Let me
these
look
with
at my
calls
blue.
too, just because it's like, um, at
You got
least
time.
your risk is defined, right? So like to a certain extent, yeah, calls are risky because you could lose 100%. But when you want to go jump in on a stock that's already up 50%, if you bought 100 shares of BBIG right now, you're investing, somewhere around 800 bucks, or you can grab a call for 100 bucks. You know what I mean? It's like I'd rather
Right.
just throw the 100 and know that I'm in, because if I can't sit there and watch it all day and all of a sudden it runs from 800, I mean from $8 back down to 5. I mean, I guess you could do the
100%.
same thing with the stop loss too, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean it's. I feel like it's kind of the same. I think calls are more. I think you like calls a lot more because it's you can get a lot more gains off of a smaller investment, right? So
Yeah.
it's like that risk. It's like whatever I lose, I lose. It's $100, but $100 goes a long way in the call game. A long way in the call game, depending on IV, obviously depending on the stock, but it goes a long way. You know, I
Yeah.
know
And
I put in.
I've
I
even
got a
got to the
median
point
of
now
doing.
where I like to build my long-term positions with calls. So
Yeah,
like let's say, you go in and buy like leaps at the money. I'd rather do that. If there's something I wanted to open up like a long-term share position in, I'll go in and buy like at the money leaps. And then, and now I can afford way more than I could of shares. And if I'm right and the stock starts to move up, well, now maybe I could sell 40 to 50% of those, leaps, take that cash and
exercise the rest.
exercise the rest. And now I just got free shares. You know what I mean? And it's like, and then I'll just continue to kind of rinse and repeat that strategy with stocks that I want to get into long term. And that's been one of the ways that I've built up some of my biggest share positions. Like even my initial Clove position started with leaps. It was $8 leaps. So
Yeah, that's slick. I mean, if you can double up and then execute half of them, it's free.
yeah,
Like legit, that's free.
typical morning bullshit. I'm gonna make a shirt that says "Go to work, coach." Oh man.
You ain't gotta go
Um
home, but you gotta get the fuck up out of here.
yeah.
I love it, dude.
But hey, before we do sign off, I know you said you got to leave around what 7:30.
Yeah, I'm gonna sign off here in about 5 minutes tops. I want
Okay.
to make sure wifey's got the kids getting ready. They're not giving her too hard of a time. I gotta drop off two of them with her.
Yep. No, I just didn't want to hurry up and like end the stream before I left to go say, you know what I mean? So that's why I
Yeah.
stayed on. But I just want to reiterate again. So this at tonight, 4 o'clock on the West Coast, 7 p.m. on the East Coast is going to be the pilot episode of No Financial Limits. It's Ghost and Coach. We're gonna do a weekly show. Tonight's going to be the first one. Tonight we'll be doing it on this channel, and then I think moving forward we're getting a channel set up like a co-channel that we'll be hosting together. But definitely, if you haven't already, hit the notification bell and the subscribe button on this channel. Also, go subscribe to Ghost channel, which is linked in the description of this video. And that way, you guys, get on there because he's going to start doing his own content. BTFD said, show us the Ortex. So Ortex right now is showing 1.5 million net shares borrowed. Short interest increase to 2.6%. Cost to borrow hasn't increased tremendously. But if you add these together, 1.5 with 556 million, that puts us roughly around 58. There's still about 5 million shares on loan out there because we've seen it go as high as 63. Let's see.
Yeah, guys, I do want to kind of ask a couple questions in regards to streaming. I know a lot of us got work. I know a lot of things are going on, but after Coach's show, moving forward, I'll probably start maybe Wednesday or Thursday of this week if all goes smooth on my end. I'll probably start doing a live stream right after Coach because I know there's a lot of us that want to keep talking stocks and things of that nature. So if you guys are interested in rolling over from when he's off, rolling into mine, by all means, I'll be there still talking some strategies and kind of go over some things that I do that you guys might be interested. That might be kind of cool. And, watch tickers and have some fun in the meantime. But it won't be too long of a stream. I'm thinking probably like a half hour to an hour, something brief.
Yeah, no, that sounds like fun. I know I'll tune in and listen to you on my way to work.
Yeah, my man.
If I end up signing off and then Ghost gets rolling,
Absolutely.
I'll just jump on my cell phone and listen on the drive in.
Hey, that's what's up. Tibbs, what it do, my guy? Tibbs is man, one of my faves, bro. Tibbs always showing love. That's the one thing I forgot to hit up Discord. I hope someone hit up Discord because there was a couple people that keep telling me if you don't tell me when you stream next, I'm gonna be hot. And I definitely forgot once again. So I apologize.
Oh, like when you come on here, go on Tarheel or
Yeah,
whatever.
they're
Yeah.
always like Joan of Arc. Some of them are mods too. Mods are gonna be upset with me, man. Diamond Girl. So hopefully I'll get better at remembering that portion of it.
Well, I know you tweeted it out yesterday, right? But
Yeah, I tweeted out this
Discord's
morning
different.
too. Discord is different. Like the vibe in Discord's cool, man. Like it's just you got Mert in there talking shit. You got everyone having a good time talking shit. You got it's just fun. It's just a different type of platform. It's like just a giant text message to me, like you in a giant group text message. So I kind of like it. I like the platform that it is.
Kamal says, how many shares available to short out there? I mean, it's really hard to say, but the highest that we've seen to this point, I know previously I was always saying the highest I had ever seen was 61 million through Ortex. On Thursday, we saw 63 million. So if you kind of try to take that and use it, that puts us at about 58 now. That means there'd be 5 million still out there to borrow right now. And then iBorrowDesk, which reports a totally separate broker, is showing 1.3 million. So that leaves about 6.3 million shares available to borrow, just based off the numbers that we're able to see. And those can change every day too, right? Because if somebody got their shares returned and then sold them to another person who's not willing to lend them out anymore, that takes away from what's actually out there available to borrow. So, there's so many factors, and unfortunately, we don't know everything.
Pablo, man, he read this man comment.
I
Don't read it
just
out
I
loud.
just
Just
saw it. I
read
just saw it about co-creator.
he
Yeah.
he is something else, man. I swear to God, man. He literally has me laughing out loud every time I see his shit. Ego, man, I appreciate it, dude. Um, a lot of people out there that said they'd come and check me out afterwards. That's cool, man. I'm not gonna do it today. It's probably gonna be towards the end of the week, and I appreciate that to the fullest. I think it'll be fun, man. I think you guys will have fun. I noticed that when I'm grinding and I'm doing my thing in the background, Coach, I'm like starting off with your show in the background, and then I hear some cool shit. I might tune in and start looking instead of just only listening, and then it gets to uh, that pocket between you and either Tarheel, and in some cases, I know Al's been going on a little early too. But there's a huge pocket where I'm just like, I need to hear it. I need to have something in the background of Clove or something, man, so I can at least know if shit starts moving, I'm not missing all the excitement, man. So that's one of the main reasons that I'll have it up and running too, is just so we can kind of have some audio ticker watcher all day, every day, man, because we need that. We need that for sure.
Hey, so real quick, I want to point this out with BBIG because I called it out earlier in pre-market, and I know this line isn't exact just because I'm doing it on such a little tiny screen over here, but I didn't even get it all the way. But it looked like it was catching resistance, here in pre-market or in after hours on Friday, and then it came down and bounced off this same kind of area in pre-market this morning, and then just now. To me, I would say maybe we found the bottom. Again, these lines aren't perfect because I'm working on a window that's this small right now. You know what I mean? I'm just sitting there doing it, really tiny on my computer. But
What
but
is
you
it?
know, you could
Is it eight?
definitely see that there's something there. Usually resistance levels, once you cross through them, become support levels, and it looks like somewhere in that zone. I would say BBIG's ready to. Maybe it found this bottom at least temporarily, and ready to kind of.
What is it? What's that bottom showing? Is it showing like what, 780, 88?
Let me try to zoom in here. So looks like earlier somewhere around the 760 range it bounced off of, and then if we go back to Fridays after hours, it was kind of right in there, like 758, 760, somewhere in that zone. And then this morning, just now, it kind of came down and touched right in there, like around 770. So not exact, but it does seem like, there's some. Now I'm clicking too much shit. There we go. No,
Josh, Josh Tetris. I don't know how you guys stay positive on Clove. I don't know why you have had a hard time finding some of the due diligence out there. Just do your research, man. It's not hard to stay positive on a corporation that will 10 times in 10 years. I promise you.
yeah.
I promise you.
No, I agree. I think it's just hard, like the volatility. A lot of I think the volatility's new to a lot of people, and for me, I'm just like, it's down today, it'll be up tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I
I mean,
know
I
it's
know the.
not every
I
day is
should
gonna
take
be
that back.
green. Not
I
every
should take that back.
and I actually think today will be green. I still
I
do.
do too. So I
Probably
take
right
that back.
after I sign off.
Josh, what I mean is we stay positive because we know what to expect. Like when you've gotten beat up this many times on a stock like Clove, it is hard to stay positive for some. I get it. Trust me when I tell you. But man, there's this perspective. Everything is perspective. The glass is half full. It's perspective. You can stay positive on anything in this world if you find perspective within it. I don't think I have a negative bone in my body. Um, Coach, thank you for having me on. I'll see you later tonight. We'll talk in between time. You guys, I'm going to go take the girls to school. Appreciate everyone, man, for showing us love. NFL tonight, 4 o'clock. No financial limits. Be there or be square.
Yeah, 4 o'clock West Coast, 7 o'clock East Coast. And yeah, Ghost, I'll hit you up. I'm gonna go take care of this stuff I said with the family right now and get some
Okay,
stuff
cool.
done, and then yeah, I will I'll hit you up. And everybody else, thanks for coming out and supporting. Love you guys. Come check us out this afternoon. Okay. or this evening. It's going to be a lot of fun. No financial limits. New thing me and Ghost are going to try to test out. Today's the pilot. And then we're going to try to do a weekly episode every week. So thank you for everybody for coming out. Appreciate all the new members that joined today, and everybody who joined Friday. That was really awesome to see all the new members come into the channel yesterday. Friday, today, and I think we even had a couple on Thursday. Really appreciate everybody for the support. And if you're not able to come tonight, definitely check me out tomorrow morning. Also, Tarheel Blue, he'll be streaming again this afternoon like every day. Make sure you jump on there and check him out as well. Thank you again. See you guys tomorrow. It's time to go green, as co-creator said. Now that I'm getting off, we're going green. Let's get it.